Okay, let's understand the question. You are given a 2D grid of size n cross n. When the cell containing 1, then it is called a thief cell, and if it is containing 0, then it is called an empty cell. Initially, you are located at 0, 0, and you have to move n this rightmost cell. You have to start from here and reach this cell. You can take any path. Moreover, you have only four choices from each cell. You can go up, you can go right, you can go down, or you can go left. You have only these four choices from any cell. So let's define what the safeness factor is. Suppose you choose this path, okay, then what would be the safeness factor of this path? Safeness factor is defined as the minimum Manhattan distance from any cell in the path to any thief in the grid. Okay, so if you have chosen this path, then for this cell, what is the minimum distance of this cell from one of the thieves located in this grid? What are the thieves here in the grid? This is a thief, this is a thief, and this one. Okay, so now for this cell, you have to know the distance of this cell from any one of the thief, but that distance should be minimum. So from this you can see that you have to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are the four steps that are to be taken to reach from this cell to the thief cell. So the Manhattan distance from this cell to the thief cell is 4. And now let's check for this thief cell. You can go 1, 2, 3, and 4. So here also the 4 distance comes. Let's check for this 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So for this cell, uh, the minimum distance to reach any of the thief cell is 4. So for this, we can assign it a number 4. So this is the table that represents the minimum distance for each cell from any one of the thief cell located in the same grid. Okay, you can see that we have taken this path that I have made from red pen, this path. So for the for this 0, 0 cell, we have seen that the 4 distance it takes. For this cell, we it takes 3 steps to reach any of the thief cell. For this, it takes 2, and similarly, see for this cell. This cell in itself is a thief cell. So to reach any of the thief cell from this cell is 0. Why? Because from this cell you can see that you can reach to this thief cell, you can reach to this thief cell, and you can reach to itself also. So to reach this thief cell, you have to take 1, 2, 3, 4. You have to take 4 steps. Okay, and to reach this thief cell, you have to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and to reach itself, it has to take 0 steps. So what is the minimum distance to reach any of the thief cell from this cell? It is 0. Okay, now from this it is 1, 2, 3, 4. So now this path that we have taken has the minimum safeness factor is 0. This is the safeness factor for this whole path from this starting to reaching the bottom rightmost cell. For this whole path, a number is defined which is called safeness factor, and it is the minimum of all these values, of all the values that lie on this path. Okay, so for this path the safeness factor is 0. But the question says return the maximum safeness factor of all the paths leading to cell n minus 1 comma n minus 1. Okay, so see, there are many paths through which we can go from this starting cell to the bottom rightmost cell. Suppose you have to start from this cell, and you go to right, then down, then down, then right, then up, then right, then down, then right, down, down, left, 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 up, right, left, down, right, down, right, right, right. So suppose you have taken this path, this much longer path to reach the this rightmost cell. Now you can calculate the safeness factor for this path also. Or for all those cells that lie on this path, this, 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 this. So all these cells, for all these cells, calculate the minimum of these values. 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3. So the minimum of all these values is 1. We can see for this particular path, the safeness factor is 1. Whereas for the path that we have seen just before has a safeness factor of 0. So which one is a better path? This one. But as we can see in our grid, we have more better values, that is 2, 3, 4. So can we find another way to reach from this, to start from this cell and reach this destination cell? Can we have a better path that has a safeness factor greater than 1? For this, the first approach that comes to our mind is the brute force solution. Okay, we can start from the starting cell, and we have four choices. We can move right, down, up, or left. And when we come to another cell, from there we have also four choices, and from there we have moved to right, and from there also we have more four choices. This way we can see that from each cell we have four choice. And how many cells we have in the grid? N cross n. Okay, so let's see the maximum limit on n. We have a constraint of n lesser than equal to 400. So how many maximum cells that we can have? N cross n. How many? 400 into 400. This is the maximum value. This becomes 1, 6, 0, 0, 0, 0. So there are these much, there can be these much cells. Okay, and for each cell we have 4 choice. So there are total 4 raised to the power 16 0 0 0 0. These many choices we can have, these many maximum different paths that we can have. First we go to here, then from here, then from up, then there, then there, then this way we can have these many paths. Okay, so this obviously crosses our time limit and it is not a feasible solution. So brute force solution won't work. But this must be your first step to reach to an optimized solution. First you have to solve the problem through brute force. That how actually can be the problem solved in a very brute way. So this won't work. Let's see what can be the optimized solution for this. So now we have to calculate a path, a path that has a maximum safeness factor. Okay, the path where all those cells that lie on the path, where all those cells that lie on the path has the minimum to be maximum. The minimum of all these has to be the maximum among all the paths that exist from starting to reach to destination. Okay, how can we do so? Okay, so first, so we will come to this part also. First, we will calculate the safeness factor. That how did we make this table? First, we have to understand this. Let's see that for this grid, how can we make this table that holds the value to reach from any of the cell to any of the thief cell. We can see that in a brute force way we can start from any cell for whom we want to calculate this value. We can start from this cell and move to every thief cell and just calculate the minimum of all those values that it can take to reach to the thief cell. But again that would cross our time limit. So we have to come up with a better solution to make this table also. How can we do so? Okay, so we can start from any thief cell. So you must have been aware of the BFS, breadth first search. So we are going to use that approach. What we will do is we will put all the cells that are thief cells in our queue pairwise. Meaning that we will store their cell number as a row number, comma, column number. So this is for one of the thief cell, let's say for this. Then for this thief cell, we will store another pair R, comma C. And for this thief cell also. Similarly, for every thief cell, only for the thief cell, we will store their cell number this pair wise. We will store this in a queue. Now, now we will keep popping off all these values and moving, and we have 4 choices. Suppose we start from here and we have 4 choice. This we can go from here, there, down or left. We have these much 4 choices. So whatever cells we have in our queue, we will first pop off it, and then we will move from this R comma C to up. What will be its cell position? R minus 1 comma C. We will move to right. It's just immediate right cell which has a position R comma C plus 1, and we can also move to down, which is R plus 1. We have an increment in row, whereas column remains same. To go left, we have same row, but column has been decremented by 1. So for each this much cell, we have these 4 choices. So one by one we'll keep off popping off the cell in the queue, and check if the cell above it is valid. First of all, we will check that it is valid, because let's say we are on this cell. Let me first clear the screen. So let's say we are here, and can we move from here to the above cell? Because we do not have any above cell, and also from here we do not have any rightmost cell. So we cannot make these two choices. So at the time of making a choice, we have to first check whether the choice is valid or not. So first we check that whether this cell position is inside this grid or not. Okay, similarly we check for all these positions, and then we will check if this cell has been visited already or not, because in BFS, whenever we travel, we make sure that we always travel on the shortest path. Suppose we start from here, and there are 4 cells going outwards, and then from here we can move to these cells. Suppose from here we can move to this cell, but and from here also we can move to this cell. So see, from here we can move to this cell, but it would take one two steps. Okay, but from here this cell we can directly move in one step to there. So what is the minimum? Minimum is one step. And see, when we have moved from this cell to its neighbors, then we have already marked it visited. So now when we check for the neighbors for this cell, it has a neighbor of this, it has a neighbor this, it has must be a neighbor here, and it has a neighbor this. Let's suppose. So but this cell has already been visited. So now when this cell tries to jump onto this cell, we would not allow it, because this cell has already been visited, and it has been visited with the minimum distance. So now whenever we visit again on this cell, it is sure that we will visit a value that is greater than the distance already calculated for it. So we simply have to disregard it. Okay, so let's see, understand it from the code, that how are we really going to implement it. So this is a vector that I have created, 2D vector, that is used to store this table. This is the minimum distance. for each cell from the thief cell. And then we have made a queue of type pair, which is used to store the row number and column number. Now for each cell in the grid, we are seeing if the cell is 1. What does 1 indicate? 1 indicate that it is a thief cell. So for each cell in the grid, we are seeing if it is a thief cell, we are going to push that cell position into the queue. This way we have already pushed all the thief cell in the queue. Now this is the portion where we are calculating, we are populating our minimum distance vector. So first we have checked the size of the queue, and until the size becomes 0, we are popping off every pair from this queue. And for this cell, which is denoted by P here, for this cell we are trying to go make 4 choices. We are trying to make 4 choices. And how are we making those 4 choices? Using this dir vector, which is direction vector. Here what we are doing is first value indicates the row, delta row, and second indicates delta column. Delta means change. So if we have to go up, we have to subtract 1 from the row, and we have to do nothing with the column. And to go right, we have to do nothing with the row, we have to increment the column by 1. To go down, we have to increment the row by 1, and for the column we have to do nothing. To go left, we have to do nothing with the row and decrement the column by 1. So this way we can make 4 choices very easily. We just have to traverse on this array dir and fetch and calculate our new cell position, which is indicated by I and j. I is the new cell's row number. J is the new cell's column number. So now, like I said, we have to check whether this cell is valid or not. So we are seeing that if this is greater than 0 and less than n, that it is in the boundary. This is for the row and this is for the column. And then we are checking whether its distance has already been calculated or not. So 0 indicates that it has not calculated. So we have to write in this minimum distance vector what is the distance to reach this cell from any of the thief cell. This is distance integer, which has been initialized with 1. So from a thief cell to whatever locations we will jump onto, we will go here, 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 and here in the first iteration. And from here we will go to these positions, and from here we will go to these positions. So it must be clear to you that all these cells which are just immediate to the thief cell will take only one step. They are only one unit distance closer to the thief cell. So we will mark them as 1. We will mark all these cells as 1. And once we are done with them, we will push all these cells into our queue. And now queue will contain this all these new cells. And from each of these cells we will again check, we will again try to make 4 choices, going up, right, down, or left. Suppose from this cell we will go up, left, down, or right. Now see, from this cell, if I try to go to this rightmost cell, which is a thief cell already, so we have to check whether it is a thief cell or not. So we are here checking if grid ij is equal to 0. 0 indicates that it is a empty cell, because empty cell has to be filled. So here we will push the cell and mark the distance, and once we are finished processing all the pairs present in the queue, we will increment our distance integer. So from this let's say from a thief cell, when we have visited all its neighbors, we have arrived here, we have arrived here, and then from here we will go there, there, and there. So all these cells will take two two steps from this thief cell. This way we can populate our minimum distance vector. Now come to the main question of how to find a path, how to find an optimal path. How can we do so? We have seen that it takes so much time to find an optimal path. How can we do so? See, we can observe here that the minimum, that any path can have a minimum value 0. So this path has a 0 value. Obviously we cannot have a value lesser than 0, and we can have a maximum value, we have a maximum value. See, there are two cells that are compulsory to be included, this much then this much. First cell, leftmost, and topmost cell, bottom rightmost cell. So these two cells will have to be in our path, because we have to start from here, and we can choose any cell in between, but at the end I have to come to the destination. So these two cells are compulsory, and we have, and the path containing these cells, we have to choose the minimum of all these values. Okay, so if these two cells have to be in the path, then the safeness factor of the path cannot be greater than the minimum of these two cells distance. Okay, so this cell is having a 4 minimum distance from any of the thief cell, and this cell is having a value 4 from any of these thief cell. So the minimum of these two is 4. So the minimum we can have a safeness factor is 0, and the maximum we have a safeness factor is 4. So let's say you have chosen a path in such a way that your path contains a value greater than 4. Okay, so we can consider it like 5. This is 5, and we have chosen this path. But yet you can see that this starting cell and this last cell is in our path. So despite of choosing a path that has a value greater than 4, we cannot be able to come to a safeness factor that is greater than the minimum of starting cell and destination cell. We cannot, because in eventually they will make our safeness factor limited to their value. here, which is 4. I hope that you understand it. So this way we can drive the range in which our safeness factor can be. So this is the lowest value and this is the highest value, that highest safeness factor that I can obtain by choosing any of the paths. So now our problem boils down to finding a number in between these two values such that I can choose a path that has a safeness factor maximum. Suppose we have now 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. I have only these 5 values, and one of these I have to choose the maximum of these values that I can obtain by traversing a path in this grid. Okay, now how can I do so? See, there is at least one thief cell in the grid. Yes, and so I can choose a path in my grid such that thief cell is included in the path that I have chosen. Suppose I have chosen a path this. Now you can see that I have chosen a thief cell here, which is having a value 0. Now this thief cell is going to make the safeness factor of my path to 0. So in any way I can make this value to be 0. I can obtain a result to be 0. Similarly, if I have a thief cell in the grid, then obviously all the neighbors of it has a value 1, because the neighbors are going to be at a distance of only 1 from this thief cell. So these neighbors are having a value 1. Okay, so now in any way I can choose a path that is having a value 1. So this path is going to have a value 1, so I can obtain this also. Now can I obtain this 2 value? Let's see. See, you have to start from here and reach to this destination position, uh, and you have to make sure that every value that lies in our path must not be smaller than this our targeted value that we want to achieve. We want to achieve the safeness factor of our path to be 2. And what is the safeness factor? It is the minimum of all the values that lie on this path. Okay, so we have to make sure that none of the values lying on our path is greater is smaller sorry is smaller than the targeted value. Okay, so we will try to make a choice here. So now I am going to understand the algorithm. Ki just stay focused. So let's start. We have at this position. Now we have to make sure that the value must not be lesser than 2. Okay, so let's make a choice. We can go here and here. Both these values are valid because they are not lesser than 2. Okay, so let's we come here. From here we can go to these two places. We can go backward also, but that has been already visited, so we want to make that choice. Now from 3 we can go to 2 and down, which is also 2, and both these values are not lesser than 2, hence we can go to any one of them. We let's say we moved here. Now from here we can make these two valid choices, but we are seeing that these two valid choices are 1, and that is what making my answer to be lesser than 2. Okay, if I choose any one of the cell, then this cell will be included in my path, and when I take the minimum of all these values, I will end up in making the safeness factor to be 1, which is lesser than 2. So I want to choose this any one of these cell. Okay, so what will I do? I will say that I have wrongly taken this cell, so I will go backward and I will go to down. From down I can go to here, here, or here. See, we will not take this because they are making my value lesser than 2. So I will go there. And from 3, I have only one choice left, that is 2. And from 2C, we can go to here, but it is not a valid choice. We can go to here, it is also making my number lesser than 2. But there are no any path exist such that I can reach to the destination cell, making sure that I include all the values, all the cells in my path which are having a value lesser than, which are having a value greater than or equal to 2. So it is not possible. This way I can conclude that this 2 cannot be achieved. Now, if this 2 cannot be achieved, can you tell me that 3 can be achieved? No. 4 can be achieved? No. Why? Because we are not having any path such that I can have the cells having value greater than or equal to 2. So when I will go to choose a path to achieve a target 3, still I am not going to have a path that is greater than or equal to 3, making sure that I won't have any value lesser than 3. It is not possible because when we were on 2, we were checking for 2. We know we were not able to obtain any path that is not having a value lesser than 2. We were encountering 1, 1, 1. Okay. So obviously, for all the values greater than 2 also, if I try to find a path that is having a safeness factor greater than or equal to 3, I won't be able to achieve. I will have to cross one of the cells that is having a value 1. Okay, so this way we can see that for a prefix, we are having we can achieve those values, but for the rest of the suffix we cannot achieve the value. You can see that this is a monotonic function. This is behaving like a series in which some of the initial values are possible and some of the rest of the values and all of the rest of the values are not possible. So now you seeing this pattern, we can say that we can find, so we can find this value using binary search. We can apply binary search here. See, what is the maximum value that is achievable here? It is this much, because after this I will not be able to achieve, and before this I am able to achieve, but I have to choose the maximum of them. So this becomes my answer. So here the in this example the answer is 1. Answer is 1. Okay. So now here we will apply a binary search, and for binary search we need leftmost and rightmost values, a range. We need a range, and we can see we have a range obtained already, that is 0 comma 4. Okay, so let's move to the code. See, L is always 0. R can be the minimum of my starting cell and the destination cell, because these two cells have to be included in the answer. So they will always keep a limit on the maximum value that I can achieve, as I have explained earlier. So L will always be the minimum of these two and the answer variable. And so this is the code of my binary search, this much. While L is lesser than, I have calculated the mid, and then I will make a BFS. See, I have make a queue here, and I have pushed my starting cell here, visited to true, and then until the queue is not empty, I am going to make a choice from each of the cell present in the queue. We will make four choices. See, we are traversing the dir array, which is making four choices: up, left, down, or right. And we are same checking whether the cell is valid and is not visited already. And and see what I have explained in this. We can move to the cells which is having a value greater or equal to than my target value. So what is the target value here? It is the mid. This is my target value that I want to achieve. I am just checking here if I can achieve this value or not. So I am checking if the from minimum distance of this cell to reach any to the thief cell is greater than equal to mid. If it is possible, then I will push that new cell's position into the queue and mark it as visited. This way I will keep on going until I have reached my destination cell. See here, when I was checking for the value 2, I was not able to reach to my destination cell. Yes, because because my algorithm would not allow me to cross to jump onto this cell having value 111, and it is lesser than 2. So I won't push this cell into my queue, and hence I would not be able to cross my grid beyond this line. So I won't be able to reach to my destination cell, and it won't be visited. So I will check in the last if found is true, or if it is not true. If it is not true, if I was not able to reach to my destination cell, that is that I am in this range, then I can see that I have to go to the lower value. I won't be able to achieve this much value. So I will need to, suppose L is here, R is here, and mid is here. And if I am checking for this value and I could not be able to reach the destination cell, so I will bring my rightmost position to mid minus 1 to here, because I am sure that if I am not able to obtain m, then I would not be able to obtain m plus 1, m plus 2, m plus 3, and so on. So I will just discard my all those values and bring rightmost pointer to m minus 1. Now r will become here, and now I will check for m here. This is simple binary search. Now I will check for this. For this, as you can see, we can obtain this value. So now I can say, if I can obtain this value, then obviously all the values before it, I can obtain them too also. So I don't need to check them. So I will just shift my leftmost pointer to m plus 1 here, m plus 1. This is L. Okay, this way we keep on shifting our leftmost and rightmost pointer and until they crosses each other. Okay, I hope you got the solution, you got the explanation. Hope it helps. If you have any doubts, please let me know in the comments. I will try to answer them. Thank you.